This was the project that some student have developed for the mini Google file system. So this was being submitted at the end of the whole semester, and
Hello
the
everyone.
six students have worked.
Today we will be presenting on our project mini Google file system, which is based on the Python implementation. We know that Google file system is a distributed file system and which was developed by Google in order to facilitate its data access and storage needs. Google used a large storage system spanned over thousands of commodity servers to implement this system. And why commodity servers? Because they were very inexpensive as compared to others. So as to make the whole system cost effective, because that is why commodity servers was the best choice at that time. Then this system actually provided great reliability, fault tolerance, replication, integrity, etc. So in this project, we have implemented this small Google file system, which is based on Python servers. And in this presentation, we'll see these servers and what are they like and how they work. Apart from that, we will be differentiating between the chunk sizes and which chunk size will be the best for the system. Again, for the implementation purpose, we have taken bytes for the file instead of megabytes to make the simulation a little bit simpler. And we have also added an additional security feature in terms of authentication to our program. In the end, we will demonstrate our project. One of us will be demonstrating our project. So over to you, Salil.
Hello, this is Salil Mishra. I'll be presenting the client server. So the client server is the interface between the applications which want to access the data and the data lake where all the data is stored. GFS has a large number of clients which operate concurrently and doesn't need synchronization between them. So a large number of clients can read and append or write at the same time any without need of any extra synchronization. Client interacts with master servers for getting the metadata. It doesn't get the file locations from them. And it caches this information from for a limited time and interacts with the chunk servers directly for many future operations. And the client interacts with the chunk servers for all the file operations like reading the file or writing the file. And the client server does not cache any file data. Next slide, please.
So these are the students which are working in the group, and they have chosen the topic as mini Google file system, and they are presenting their work, that what they have done. They have done the client side coding, they have done server side coding, and then the mini Google file system was being created. And the most of the code was actually being available on Python, on GitHub repository. So they had used that code and executed that code, re-executed that code. They're actually telling about that. There were six members in the project total.
File
So
system also, the
this is
developers
another
in
student.
there also took 64 MB as the standard option. Uh, Now I'll be
So they'll start
This is
explaining
the
the
demo of
project.
our project. So first we will check for the chunk size, that is 256 bytes. So as we saw in the slides, we can change our chunk size. So currently it is 256 bytes, and we can see that in the right hand top corner panel, we have our primary backup server running. In the bottom right corner, we have our master server running, and in the bottom left corner, we have our chunk server running. So then first we can check, we can see the admin functions that we have written. So we have a create user list delete. Just for the sake of it, we are seeing the list. We can see which all users are already registered.
So this is how you all have to do a presentation at the in the end. So this is what I want to meant to say, that you have to develop good slides so that you'll have the good presentation in the end. Before that, you have to work a lot for a particular project that you had chosen. So you have to choose one project and one theme that you want to work upon. So the theory that was the cloud computing course that I had took. So that has the different theory. So they had worked for the cloud computing technologies and the mini Google file system. So it is belongs to the cloud computing. But here we have to work for the system engineering. So you have to choose one system. Like you want to work in the finance system, you want to work in the stock market analysis system, you want to work on the image system, like you have chosen fog images. So there are many fog and smoke images were there. So for smoke images you have chosen, so you have chosen a particular system for the smoke analysis. So I will recommend start studying for the two systems: financial stock market based system first, and second the image system, like fog images were there, smoke images were there. So these are the systems. So you have to start studying these two systems, that these two domains are there. So these two domains will have their own type of data set. If you are comfortable with images analysis, so you work on the fog and smoke images, because that this is very uh, upcoming and hot topic. And you, and for the finance data you should go for the stock market based data set available. Then you start developing some theory that will express these uh, data set into some graph, that these components are connected to each other. Means what happens in the system has many components working together. So you have to think what could be become component in those systems. So that these component could be connected to each other. How you'll show the connection? You'll show the connection with the help of graphs. So in the graphs, you have the connections, like one component is connected to another component, that component is connected to another things. So you start studying about the graph theory, and then you form the matrix out of it. If you want to represent that graph could be represented in adjacency list, and graph can be represented into the matrices. So matrix could be representation. So if you have for the learning part, you can use many theories available for the graph theory analysis. Like there is a Apache GraphX tool was being available for analysis purpose, and you can do analysis on that Apache GraphX as well. So you have to think that algorithm that could be fit for your data set analysis. So basically you have to choose a field, and we'll choose that domain, and that domain will see what systems are there, and out of those we'll pick up one system out of them, like smoke data of image. And uh, another side, another project, another student or group member could choose finance system. So finance data, stock market data they'll use, and then they will start representing them in the form of graph or matrix. And that then you'll choose one algorithm, and then you do the analysis. So there are three steps. First, choosing a domain, that you need to choose one domain, one field you have to choose, and out of that, in that field, you have to choose one particular data set, and that data set was being chosen. So this is first step. Then second step would be representation of that data set into the graph. So how you can represent that data set into the graph? If you could able to represent that data set into the graph, we'll keep one common data structure like graph. So that graph is the second step. So you represented that data set into the graph. And then how you can do the graph analysis, network analysis. So in the third step, you do the network analysis. That network that you had created, you do the network analysis with some existing algorithm, with some existing knowledge that you have, and you start doing analysis of that graph you had constructed. And then after running that algorithm on that graph, you'll have some result, you have some finding, and then you represent that finding and result in the step 3. So there are fundamentally 3 steps. First is choosing of the data or domain. Second, the the representation of that data into the graph, and then you have to run a particular graph algorithm as the third step for representing that outcomes, and then you'll have the result. So based upon that three step, you can construct a report, and you have to write everything on that report by yourself in your own terms. Similarly, you have to make a presentation of that report, and you have to start presenting by your own words, and you have to record a video, and then you have to present everything. For example, if I'll show you the graph algorithms available, and you have to study this type of graph algorithm.
Library. So our team comprises of the following members. So Apache Spark is basically a unified analytics engine for large-scale data processing. It provides high-level APIs in Java, Scala, and many other languages. In our case, we would be dealing with the language Scala. And GraphX is a component in Spark for graphs and graph parallel computations. We are dealing with distributed computing, that is, multiple computer systems would be working on a single problem. In short, a single problem would be divided into many parts, which would be individually solved by different computers. Apache Spark mainly consists of two components, a driver and an executor. To harness complete functionality and to understand it better, we are running it on a cluster computing framework like Kubernetes, Hadoop, Yarn, HDFS, etc. But in our case, we would be dealing with Hadoop Yarn as which is a cluster computing framework. Next slide. So what we will be actually doing is we will firstly run graphics Scala graph operations in standalone cluster mode on our system. Then we will deploy example program on Hadoop Yarn using Hortonworks Sandbox, whose instance would be created on VMware. Some important graph algorithms that give insight to social network are used and will be discussed further. Next slide.
So the first graphics algorithm is triangle count. Triangle count is basically used by companies like Facebook and LinkedIn in order to detect some spam detection web pages. Basically, the main concept of the triangle count algorithm is to detect the relationship between all other nodes, where the node is a node may be a person or maybe some state depending on the company graph. Next slide. Here I have just used some sample case. In this sample case, that the 2 is the basically a node number, and 1 is the another node number. So there is an edge from 2 to 1. So I have just created the in this page I have just created the graph for this corresponding input, and this is the relationship. So the output given by the graphics algorithm is exactly in the console screen. So the 4 node has zero triangle associated with it. So this is the code. We have just used the graph loader to load the Facebook dataset, which I have used from the Stanford, which we have just implement from the Stanford site, and we have just used the triangle count method in the graphic of the graphics library.
So this is how you have to develop the project. So in this project, you have seen they had explained about the Apache graphics was there. So why they had explained? Because that coursework, this is the project was being submitted to me in the cloud computing project, and this graphics was belonging to the cloud computing model, and thus they are explaining more about the graphics. But here you have to explain more about the domain in the system engineering. Means system you have to explain more, and you have to explain how you had constructed this graph. Can you see this 2 1 1 3 2 3 4 1 1 2 6 3? This is a graph. This is how the graph. Node 2 is connected to node 1. Node 1 is connected to node 3. Node 2 is connected to node 3. Node 4 is connected to node 1. Node 1 is connected to node 2. Node 6 is connected to node 3. So this is how a graph was being formed. So a large graph could be represented like this, and this graph information can go inside the graphics like tool, and the graphics like tool will can process with the different algorithms like triangle count, like there is page rank could be analyzed. There are many other algorithms, means connected component like algorithms of graph theory could be used, and then you can have the result, you can identify results. So these students had did the analysis for Facebook, and the data set they had collected from Stanford's website. So they had collected data set from Stanford website for the social media of Facebook, and they had formed a triangle. Uh, they had formed a graph like this, and they have done a triangle count algorithm analysis with the help of Apache Spark GraphX. So you can see this video by going to my YouTube channel, and in the YouTube channel you'll find this video, and you can study that video. So you'll have the idea that how you have to develop, go for the project, and you have to stick more towards domain analysis, system analysis, and graph theory analysis, graph theory based system analysis, so that we'll have a one theme for this whole coursework. And that's it for today. So we'll discuss more in the next class, that in detail how the whole coursework was been designed.
So basically, we have to choose a system and then uh, apply some graph algorithm, as you said, and derive an analysis. So, how to identify a system?
Yes, you have to choose a system, then you have to design a graph algorithm, then you have to do graph analysis for that system, and then you have to do an after analysis present that system. So you have to choose according to your interest, like finance system you can choose, like image based system you have to choose. Systems are nothing means that have the various component. Anything that you can represent as a component could be said as a finance system. You could have different components, and you can identify different component, and you can represent that component in the graph. Then this means that you had represented a system in a complex system, and graph based representation was there, and you can do the analysis of that graph, and that graph analysis would further help you do the system analysis, means you can have finding about the system. So any domain you choose, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, or any domain, software engineering, mostly we are from computer science, so we'll choose computer science based system. So we'll choose images as the component, and we'll choose stock market as the component, and the then we find out the different component inside those data set, and then those component are being represented with the graph, and then we do the analysis. That this step one, how to choose and what to choose and how to represent, is your first assignment, means first thought, first step. Yourself you have to choose, and we'll dedicate one class for this, step one, step two, and step three. So we'll discuss in detail that how you have to choose. So you have to choose anything which could be represented as a graph, and which could have the components. If you could be able to represent something as a component and represent as a graph, then we can say it as for the system analysis thing.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thanks.